The other piece, Mo, that you have helped a lot of women with, and I've heard this, is to take responsibility. I'm not a victim of those circumstances. I am a victim of my own choices. Honestly, I would triple dog dare her to make the change. I just think we are worth it. We're
Yeah.
worth it. We're worth investing in. We're worth taking the time to figure out who we are and what's important to us. I think we're going to serve better in our communities, in our families, and in
Mhm.
our jobs if we really hone in on who we are and what's in our soul and what our heart is about,
Yeah.
and really try to match all of that into one person. You can't be a different person at work and a different person at home. You got to put it all together.
And you'll win in life by having your soul on fire. Welcome to the Soul Powered Revolution, the essential podcast for high achieving professional women who are done playing small. I'm Coach Mo, ex CEO, ex COO, and creator of the Soul Powered Method that has transformed over 2,200 executive women's careers. Each week, we decode the strategies that actually work for women at the leadership level while keeping your soul intact. Because true power isn't about working harder. It's about leading from your soul. If you're ready to stop dimming your light and claim the success you deserve, you're in the right place. New episodes drop weekly. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and join the revolution of women leading from their soul power. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, it's Coach Mo Faul and welcome to another episode of Soul Powered Revolution. I have an awesome soul powered client with me for a wonderful discussion on her journey. Hello to Shelley Sakamoto. Hi, Shelley.
Hi, how are you, Mo?
Good, good. Shelley, tell us a little bit about where you live, what's all about, and then we'll dive into your journey.
Absolutely. I'm Shelley Sakamoto. I live in Denver, Colorado. I have been an accounting professional for 15 plus years. Right now, I serve Girl Scouts of Colorado, which is an awesome organization. And yeah, I just finished Mo's Soul Powered Coaching, and I'm really excited to be here and talk about it.
Yeah, I am very, very excited to have you share your journey. Your journey, even though personally you had a lot of specific things that were going on, when you were in the 12 weeks, you probably realized that your journey, even though it was yours only, like a lot of professional women who sort of get lost along the way, um, you and I had our clarity call. I don't do a lot of them, but for some reason, the universe put us together. And I found out some things about what was going on in your career, some of the things that you were holding inside. And we both share a bit of a personal tragedy. That was something that we were able to share on the call. Tell us a little bit about where you were when we first met on the clarity call, the before scenario.
Absolutely. So I was just professionally in a position where I felt really shot down. I had just gone through a merger at a company and, left making left a high salary position. I didn't have another job in place.
Hmm.
I had some trauma from previous jobs.
Yep.
After COVID, it's like I moved around a bit. There were layoffs and there was the merger and there were just some circumstances that just didn't work.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel like I really fit in anywhere.
Hmm.
And then also I don't have a degree in accounting, and
Yep.
through the years, I've done great. I've served as a, controller, a CFO, an accountant,
Hmm.
whatever. And
Yeah.
I've done great in the position. But when it comes to a degree, sometimes, you hit a wall. And I think I was personally hitting a wall
Yep.
more than professionally. Like some people,
Yeah.
they didn't care. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't.
Hmm.
But for me, it was really getting me down. I just thought, holy smokes, maybe I'm not who I think I am. Maybe I can't do what I think I can do. And, it was kind of showing in how I
Yes.
showed up.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
felt so, so down about it.
There's a bit of shame. We've worked with a lot of women who don't have college degrees and their profession is going along. There's shame in there of like, I hope people don't notice. What will they think of me? Um, that that affects how you can show up at work. Because if you're carrying that, like, you're not all that at work. I mean, even though you had a great trajectory of your professional pursuits. Yes, a couple of things didn't quite work out with the economy being a little bit more volatile. What did you declare for yourself when we spoke to each other? You decided that the end of last year was going to be the end of what?
A lot of things. So I feel like in my mind, I felt like 2025 cannot continue right now the way it is.
Yeah.
And our call was December, I think, 3rd or so. And it was just like at the time, I felt like I cannot physically, emotionally, spiritually, you name it, go into
Hmm.
2025 like this.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm, gonna die. I mean, I
Yeah.
felt like I
Yeah.
don't want to be home. I don't
Hmm.
want to, like, I don't want to go find another job and have it be the
Hmm.
same circumstances.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do that. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I just felt like, you know what? I need to blow things up.
Yeah. And you couldn't carry on with the way that things had been for the past several years. And then, like so many journeys, your mom passed away quickly. And that sort of takes all the rest of the wind out of the sail, doesn't it? It's like I don't have any reserves. Before, professionally, I sort of had limited. Now I got nothing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I was really drained. I mean, I was
Yes.
drained, by taking care of my mom and
Mhm.
her passing away and,
Mhm.
all of that. And then
Mhm.
also just not wanting to be at home. My circumstances at home, had
Mhm.
just not, I just felt like it wasn't a good situation for me anymore.
Yeah.
And that needed to change. I felt like my children weren't thriving.
Mm.
I
Yep.
just thought we are just in a hole right now.
Yeah.
And, I am the pillar in this family and I have got to pull out of this.
Yes. Yeah. The life force energy, which we call the soul, was depleted.
Yes.
You're not working. Your mom had just passed away. You're trying to pick up the pieces, and yet it feels like they're so far away to pull them together. When
Yes.
we had our clarity call, as we were moving through all the things that were not working out for you, and then we were talking about the way that you want things, there was a big shift in your energy about where you wanted to go. And you had to make a powerful decision
I did.
in order to shift the universe and shift the events and take responsibility for putting it back together. Let's talk about what that decision was like and what you had to declare for that to.
For sure. So I just decided at the time, I don't know you from Adam, but I'm going to tell you everything. Like I know that this is most, this feels like it should be more professional, but if it's your soul, it's personal, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to lay it all on the line.
Yeah.
And I did. I shared everything with you in the spot that I was in. And you said to me, it sounds like you've been accepting less for a long time. And I feel like that really set me on fire. I thought, no, you cannot accept less anymore,
Yeah.
whether it be a
Like,
job, whether it be a relationship,
mm-hmm.
whether it even be, relationship with your children, whatever, you cannot accept less. And I think my mom dying and me realizing, she had given it all for everyone all the time and put so much, on the back burner for herself,
Yeah.
and had a lot of regrets. I thought, I don't want to live another regret. I
Uh,
just
uh,
don't.
yeah. Changing the legacy so that
Yes.
for your next chapter, you're coming alive, you're crafting the life that you want to have, and you had to claim you. Now, not
Yes.
working, knowing that you had to grab a job, get something going, you had to make a critical decision that was sort of against a value system. Let's talk about that piece.
That is correct. So I also am a money coach and I preach no debt. And at the time, I had reserves to be able to pay my normal expenses, but I knew it would be a stretch to invest in myself and in the soul powered coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And I opened a credit card and I went for it. I thought, you know what? You're going to do this. I mean, I
Yeah.
have got to invest in myself or nothing is going to change for me.
Yeah. And we talk about the difference between debt and investing. And most of us don't think about investing in ourselves. We'll buy a car, we'll have a car payment, we'll buy our kids braces or whatever the heck might be. And yet here we are languishing around. Um, you're the best investment you'll ever get to make because not only is your soul the soul of the family, as most women are, but your career and who you are in your career and how much personal satisfaction and contribution that you feel like you're giving to the world and the money that you make is like no one can replace that but you. No one can get there but you.
Right.
And I mean, as we know, the investment and the opportunity to come into the coaching is always something that we cherish with having a return on. Not that we can guarantee results because we can't go in interviews for people, but we're not talking about going into coaching where we're not going to help you, where we're not going to lift you up. You had a real path that had to be fixed. Like the roof on your life had caved in, and we saw it together, and you made a powerful decision to move forward. What was some of the first aha moments or first things, Shelley, that you recognized in the first couple of weeks of working together?
Number one, I did need to change my life circumstances at home. I needed to
Mm-hmm.
change my home, my
Uh-huh.
situation. I needed to change my situation with my partner.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I needed to, I needed to blow that up fast. I needed to sell my home. Honestly, it's like I had purchased this home, and it had an apartment in the basement so the kids would be able to, you know, nobody ever paid rent. I mean, it was like it did not work out well for me.
Uh-huh.
And I just thought, you know what, your expenses are too much for, one person to deal with. They're just too much. The
Mm-hmm.
yard was too, everything was too much. Just for where I'm
Mm-hmm.
at in my life after my
Yeah.
mom passed away,
Yeah.
everything was too much. And I did. I thought, you know what, I have got to minimalize in some areas in order to be able to get well. And
Yeah.
even, be able to level down a little bit
Mm-hmm.
professionally so that I can heal.
Yes.
And so that's one of the first things I did. I think within 2 weeks, I had secured a place to live
Mm-hmm.
and put my house on the market and asked my partner to find another place to go.
Yeah.
And, and it was a long time coming. It wasn't like all of a sudden I've signed on with Mo and I'm getting it,
Right. Right.
whatever. It wasn't
Yeah.
like that. It was something
Yep.
that it was a long time coming.
Yeah.
And I just felt like there was no way I could ever pair my soul with any of these dreams that I'm, with my myself 6 months from now. There's no way I can pair it in the situation that I'm in this dark
Yeah.
hole that I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah. So you went to work right away. You leaned in.
I
You
did.
leaned into the coaching process, and of course, as you know, every week there's some learning, and then there's the coaching to go along with that. You leaned in. You got your soul start to bring back to life. You made some powerful decisions. You landed a bridge job.
I
You
did.
landed a bridge job, which wasn't perfect, but it was a thing. Brought in some income, and you were able to learn a few things to do differently in that bridge job. Let's
Yes.
talk about that for a bit.
Okay, sure. Well, first off, Stacy, Coach Stacy, amazing. Number one, I was afraid of her. I was intimidated by her. She was the exact kind of woman that I didn't want to find me out, right? And she was incredible. I mean, she was so encouraging, number one. Number two, she is Captain Obvious. I mean, hello, yeah, well, you've done that. There's nothing on here you haven't done. What are you thinking? I mean, it
Yeah.
was just like she was so smart. And just, it's a job. It's a
Yeah.
job. Okay, well,
Yeah.
it's a job.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do what they told you to do.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do what they asked. Okay, well, it's just business. I mean, all these things that I had not thought in my mind. I had taken
Yeah.
jobs so personally,
Yes.
like I walk into a hornet's nest and I
Mhm.
would think it was mine to clean up,
Yes.
right? And she
Mhm.
just really helped me to see that, what, it's a job. Your job and your life are two different things. And my job and my life have never been two different things, ever.
Mhm. Yes.
And it's probably my age and all that, but it's like the more you do, the better you look. No, that's
Yep.
not true. The
Yep.
more you do, the more they're going to be, they're going to be just hooked into you and you got to stay here. Nope, that's not the truth.
Yep.
You're replaceable. So it's
Yep.
like those are things that I really had to learn. And I also, one thing, the position that I took, it was year end. I knew it was going to be crazy, one of the things that I realized was just make a to-do list and just keep doing it. And you can only do so much. And at 5 o'clock, you need to cut it off.
Yeah.
End of
Exactly.
story.
Yes.
And I mean, there are going to be circumstances where we've got a push, whatever. I'm totally good with that. But I can't do that every day.
No,
And
that's
I
right.
can't take on what other people think are more, are important when they're stacking. It's just so much
Mhm.
stacking.
Yes.
So, I mean, I just learned a lot about being an employee. I mean,
Hmm.
gosh, like plan A, become an employee. I mean, I had to
Yeah. Yeah.
relearn how to be an employee,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
It's a common, it's a common problem that women, we have this loyalty and this, I got to fix everything. It's that maternal nature. And it's great in the family. It's great when you have a dying mom. It's not great at work. And,
Well,
you know, we want you to be aligned and soul powered, and you being the version of you that is authentic. But that soul power is the best boundary keeper.
I agree. And I'll tell you what, add not having a degree to that, and you're going to work twice as hard
Yes.
to prove yourself. So that
Yeah.
was my other, that was the other part of it,
Right.
was
Right.
just double working, double doing everything,
Yeah.
having to prove because I didn't have this degree. And in the back of my head, well, if I get it done, then they'll think I mean, it was just crazy. It was
Yeah.
a crazy way to
Yeah.
think.
It was like you're in that game of Twister.
Yes.
Ugh. And obviously that was unsustainable. So we're working with Shelley, and we're getting her to feel totally confident, knowing who she is, articulating the career success that you've had over time, and being able to show up that way and own it and integrate that success. You're in the bridge job. We're helping you coach through doing it differently. And at the same time, helping you identify roles that are perfect for you, that'll be great opportunities, and that are the right job at the right time for you, because you're in a season of recovery. Let's just say that everything else in your life has shifted and changed. And so let's find a great job that you can sit at, you can enjoy, you can be in a positive environment. And you went to town interviewing for a variety of different roles. Let's talk about the process, Shelley, of you being able to articulate your value in an interview, and the coaching that got you to the point where you were able to really put your value in front of an audience, in front of a future employer, and feel confident about who you are.
Absolutely. Well, I'll start off with Juanita, who helped us, with the resumes.
Yes, she's awesome.
She really helped me realize what I had accomplished throughout my career.
Yes.
I mean, to where it was like she was just in awe of you, to where you're like, wow, I did do that. Well, yeah, I did do that. And then
Yeah.
Stacy saying, well, yeah, there's not one thing on this job requisition that you haven't done. So
Right.
what's the question? And I mean,
Yeah.
it just helped me to see, like, I'm really paired with, I pair well with these jobs.
Yeah.
Like if they insist on a career, I mean, on a degree, obviously I don't go for it. But if they don't, it's like, why am I not qualified for this
Yeah.
position?
Yep.
And then on top of it, in accounting, you have to be honest and have integrity.
Yes.
So it's like I have those things. My
Hmm.
character fits with the position on top of, my experience. So,
Hmm.
I feel like I was able to look at things on a more global level. And,
Yeah.
a lot of times we're trying to figure out the answer to one simple question. Tell me a time when yada, yada. Well, it's like, oh gosh, I've had a lot of those experiences. I over here, supervised 6 people. Over here, we built a department and it was just, I was able to have the answers to my questions be a lot more, global, other than these little tiny, one time I worked at McDonald's and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was like, they just helped you to really hone in on what you've really done
Yeah.
on a larger level, because you
Right.
have. I mean,
Yep.
none of it is a lie.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think it just helped you to be more confident in, this is who I am and this is the truth.
Yep.
So, like, why am I nervous about it?
Yeah, exactly. And
And
practicing and getting coached, all the while your soul is getting bigger and stronger, and talking about yourself becomes such a natural thing, because you've seen it on the resume. You worked with our LinkedIn coach to put on LinkedIn, and you're like,
yes,
it's now integrated who you are, what you bring to the table. It's not like you're
yes,
talking some foreign person out there, which I think a lot of women feel like, well, I sort of did that, but it was I don't know, other people help me. Like, it's like we minimize what we bring to the table.
It's
And
true.
so,
And then being intimidated. I mean,
yeah.
Stacy was perfect for me. I was scared to death. And I thought, you know what, Shelley? Stacy's a person.
Mm-hmm.
She's a
Yep.
woman.
Yep.
She has owned her power.
Mm-hmm.
She wants you to own your power.
Yep.
Like, just have a conversation.
Yeah.
And that's what it turned into. It finally turned into me being so excited about talking to Stacy, being so excited to present my answers to her,
Yeah.
and just feeling a lot more comfortable. Like, you know what? We're both professional women. We both come
Yep.
from different backgrounds. She has a lot more education. I have experience over here. You
Uh-huh.
know what? We're two in the same in that way. We got to
Yes.
quit treating each other like we're
Yeah.
somebody is so far above us that we
That's
can't,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
we can't identify with them. So
Right.
that was so helpful for
Yeah.
me.
And for those who don't know, Coach Stacy is an ex-CEO, and she is a total badass in her own right.
Yes.
And she does most of our interview coaching. She's hired hundreds of people, and she gives it to you straight, right? She like
Hmm.
tweaks your answer this way, tweak this, tweak that. And I love the fact that you were able to put yourself in a role that you're both people and you're just talking to another person about your experience. And I mean, it is great prep to have her be the interview coach, because a tough interview is a good practice.
For sure.
And then you had multiple opportunities evolved because you're interviewing well and you're going after multiple opportunities, and you chose the one that fit you best.
I did. So that was kind of another thing that, you know, I may be a little different coming into the program. You know, I wasn't necessarily looking for more, you know, responsibility, more money. I needed to be in a position that fit my soul,
Yeah.
where I'm at now,
Yeah.
you know, and, you know, I've been in positions where I'm a one man band as a
Yeah.
controller or something, and I don't have time off.
Yeah.
There's no time off. There's no
Mm-hmm.
personal time. I've had 4 surgeries in 5 years, and I've gone back the next day.
Ugh, I just hate
And
hearing it.
so I did have an opportunity, and I shared it with Stacy, and it was a
Yeah.
lot of money. It was, you know, great money. I had been, you know, holy smokes, like this is more money than I'll ever make. And she just said, that is really not what you need right now. You know, you need to heal. You need something that where you can take a day off, or maybe have a vacation every now and again, or, you know, whatever the case may be. And she and I together worked through all of these different positions that were coming at me, and
Yeah.
really helped me to choose the best case scenario. And again, you know, I'm at Girl Scouts of Colorado.
Yeah.
What better place, you know, than somewhere that where they teach, you know, courage, confidence, and character to
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah.
You know,
So
and
good.
it's like those were the things I was lacking,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
So good. So good. And so it's a hospitable environment. It's a great culture. You get to do your thing that you're a genius at, which is really put accounting and systems and make sure everything's in integrity. From the financial perspective, you get to be in a warm and empowering environment, and you get to recover other aspects of your life and keep recalibrating with the soul work that you're doing. And one of the cool things about landing a job is that no job is permanent, no job is forever, but having a perfect job for where you are right now, like, how does that feel?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, I finally feel like I belong somewhere. You know, the
Ah,
women are just incredible. I mean, they're
yeah,
just, I feel like it's a no mean girl, you know,
yeah,
zone,
yeah,
which is wonderful for me because I have never
yes,
been like the jealousy or the
yeah,
backbiting or
yeah,
drama, that sort of
yeah,
thing. It's
yeah,
like I'm excited to be there, and excited
yeah,
to serve, and excited to learn and teach, and, you know, whatever the case may be. I'm
yeah,
excited to be a part of it, you know.
yeah,
And like I said, what better company than Girl Scouts? I mean,
yeah,
come on.
yeah. Do you
So
know the Girl
yeah,
Scout pledge? On my honor, I forget what it was, but
I need to
it was.
learn.
We'll do the
Yeah.
Girl Scout pledge one of these days together. I
Yes.
loved being a Girl Scout, and I'm super tickled that that's where you are. As I was
Yes.
telling you earlier, in my retreat last year, I gave out Girl Scout badges, and I just randomly put them in our clients who were at the retreat in their bags. And it was funny how they got their badge. It was like, oh my God, this is perfect for me. Um, I just love the fact that you can buy Girl Scout badges on the
Yes.
Girl Scout website. That just tickles an old Girl Scout. My mother would be so happy about that. Um, what would you say to a woman who is in the situation, Shelley, that you were in several months ago, where you didn't even know what your options were? You were feeling pretty down and out. Things in your life were just feeling heavy and dark, and you didn't even know where the first step forward was. What would you say to a woman who's there right now, maybe listening to this?
Honestly, I would triple dog dare her to make the change. You know what I mean? You can't turn down a triple dog dare. I mean, I just think we are worth it. We're
Yeah.
worth it. We're worth investing in. We're worth taking the time to figure out who we are and what's important to us. I think we're going to serve better in our communities, in our families, and
Mm-hmm.
in our jobs if we really hone in on who we are and what's in our soul and what our heart is about, and
Yeah.
really try to match all of that
Yeah.
into one person. I mean, it's like you can't be a different person at work and a different person at home and yada
That's
yada.
right.
You got to put it all together.
Yes.
And so for me, I think, I have thought of so many women who I want to take the program. I want them, I'm like, girl, you have got to get in there. You
Mm-hmm.
have to stop thinking because you're 50 they're
Oh,
not going to hire you in a marketing position.
right.
I'm like,
Right.
honestly, like they
Yeah.
want someone more mature sometimes.
Absolutely.
I mean, it just depends on the circumstances, but
Yes.
like
Yeah.
sometimes sometimes it works that way. I mean,
Yes.
whatever you think your obstacle is, it's not.
Right.
Okay. Just be done with it.
Yes.
And
That
so,
is
yeah, I just
true.
feel like if you can do it, if you can do this, if you can find a way, you're going to level up in every area of your life. The other part was I had to figure out, do I want to do therapy? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? Where should I, put my money and my time? And
Mm-hmm.
I put it here for a reason because it encompassed all those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, for me, I'm like, do it. I
Yeah.
triple dog dare you to do it.
Triple dog dare. I love it.
Mhm.
So tell me a little bit about how your kids are winning now that mom is back in her soul.
Well, I think that, I had to even kind of put some boundaries there too and just
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, we're not going to live like this anymore. We're not sleeping all the time. We're not going to
Mm-hmm.
be in total darkness. I felt like we were just in this
Uh,
cloud. And I'm like,
yeah.
nope, we're a team.
Mm-hmm.
We're all almost adults. I've got, the youngest will be 19
Mm-hmm.
and just three of us are at home. And I just felt like I need to ask for the help. I
Yeah.
need to let them know that, hey, we're a team and we're going to all do this together, but I'm not going to do it by myself anymore.
Yeah.
And then just to shoot higher, like let's, like
Mm-hmm.
we cannot be in this low vibe ever again,
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
And so that's I think the best part of it. And then also, like one of the things that I wrote when you ask us to write a letter to ourselves, one thing I wrote was that I wanted sunlight. In my old home, it was just dark. It was
Ah.
just the way it was set up. It was a
Uh-huh.
really cute house, but it was just very dark.
Uh-huh.
And where I moved to has huge windows, and my plants are thriving, and
Oh.
everything is thriving. And
Oh.
there's spots to walk to. And I mean, everything I wrote in my letter to myself for 6 months from now, which is June,
Ah,
has already
already
happened.
there? Oh,
So
that is
yeah, I mean, it
so
it
great.
happened. It happened pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, you leaned in, you made a massive claim on the universe. I'm worth it. I'm going to do this. I am turning this ship around because my life depends on it. And when you make a bold claim to the universe, you've just shifted everything in your direction. And
Yes.
we talk about that, and that's part of the foundation of our coaching. I don't know how many people really understand that that works. When you accept less, you get it.
I agree. And that's the thing. It's like less would come at me, and I almost, as a fixer, would take it in. And so that would, that goes for a job. That goes for several different things. Even
Yes.
when I bought my house, it was a little dark, but I can turn a cardboard box into a home. Well, who wants wants a cardboard? Why would you?
Who
Why would
needs
you
to?
do that?
Why
Well,
should we have to? Right. Yeah.
but that's the whole thing. It's like that
Yeah.
was kind of my mindset was like,
Yes.
I'll take the crappiest of crap and turn it into something.
I'll
Why
show
don't you
you.
quit taking the crap? Right.
Exactly.
So
Quit
that's,
taking the crap.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that really shifts. The other piece, though, I think, Mo, that you have helped a lot of women with, and I've heard this, is to take responsibility.
Yes.
I'm not a victim of
Yes.
those circumstances. I am a victim of my own choices to
Mm-hmm.
take less.
Yep.
I didn't
Yep.
get less because randomly, it happened to me and poor me and I have bad luck. No, I was choosing those things. And
Yes.
so for us to take responsibility and say, I can't accept less. I'm not going to accept, you know, being treated poorly. I'm not going to accept yada yada, whatever it is. It's like
Yeah.
we have got to take responsibility for that.
Yes. And when you up level yourself, those things become so obvious. When you're
Yes.
down in a low vibe, it doesn't even seem possible. It's
Right.
like you're living off of the table scraps of others,
Yeah.
and you're beginning to resonate. Well, that's just where life is. That's just what it is. This is just who I am. I'm never going to this and that. And then you bring your soul back and you start to claim a certain level of self. And then all of a sudden, oh, a cool job opens up. Oh, I know how to talk about myself and appeal to what they're looking for in a very authentic way. Oh, I land a job. Oh, I land this offer. Oh, I have choices now. Oh, I'm responsible for picking a job that's going to be me working 80 hours a week and killing myself again, or working a job that's well balanced and perfect for me. Oh, I get that opportunity. So you have made great choices for yourself over the last several months that have led you to exceeding your future self letter that you wrote 6 months ago.
Yes.
It's by the choices you declared and who you declared you were going to be in the world.
Well, and who I declared I wasn't going to be. I thought,
True
I'm
that.
not that girl.
Yes.
I'm not that girl.
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
And you always have time to change your mind. That's the one thing. I'll be 53 this year. And it's like, I have time to change my mind and say, I don't want to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to do that.
Yeah.
And it might affect some people and it might affect some circumstances. But you know what? I'm one human and I have to live with myself and my choices. And I'm not that girl. And so this is who I'm going to be. And that's the end of the story.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. This is, folks, this is what empowerment looks like. And you heard Shelley's before story, and now you're seeing who she is and what she's claiming. I mean, you're thriving means that your family is thriving, means that
Yes.
your future, you're setting your future up to continue to be a thriving future. And you're going to keep making choices that are soul oriented, soul aligned. I'm
Right.
excited for everything that's ahead of you. I'm excited for everything that you have done to claim this version of you, and certainly humbled that our tools and our coaching uh, helped bring you to this point. It's what we intend to do every single darn time. We have a strong, strong community that we haven't talked about here, Shelley, but there's so many women who you were on the journey with, and there's so many women who continue to be supportive with each other in our community. And I just look forward to continuing to watch you grow and watch you be all that you can be. Is there anything else you want to share before we wrap up our wonderful
I think
conversation here?
just, for me, I think if your light is burned out, like if know you're a light in this world, and you're a pillar in your community and you're always a pillar everywhere, don't let anything, dim your light. And Mo, you and your team are a light.
Thank you.
And you are shining, and I'm telling you what, it's making a huge difference. And I really just hope for so many women to, to become part, to lean in some way or another,
Yeah.
whatever level that they can,
Yeah.
and really fight through and just become better. Because I'm telling you, it's not about being better than everybody else. It's just about being the best version of yourself.
Yes.
And that's what I would so encourage women to reach out
Yeah.
and get something done here.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
Yeah.
good. Big, super big soul hug for you, Shelley.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing your story. Folks, seriously, Shelley started this journey by clicking on an ad, booking a call, mofall.com/talk is the booking of the call. She and I were just happy and lucky to be the ones who did the call together. That clarity call can be life-changing. And if it's not totally life-changing because you don't move forward with the coaching, it's life-changing because you get the reveal. You get the reveal about what's really going on and the truth. And I'm so happy that you made a powerful decision for yourself, Shelley, because your life right now is just the grand show of who Shelley is and what you're all about. And I'm just tickled to have this conversation. Folks, soul powered career coaching. It sounds a little bit too good to be true. But you know what? When you bring your soul back to life, it is too good to be true. But it is true because most people don't live their soul powered life. They're living darker, less than. And Shelley, thank you for taking the leap and sharing your story. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you
Blessings
so
on your
much, Mo.
continued
Thank you
journey.
and your team for helping
Yeah,
get me to change where I
you got it.
was.
All right. Love it. Love it. Everything that women face in the corporate world, in life actually, can be counterattacked, counteropposed by a woman's powerful internal sense of being. And I call that your soul power. I want to help more women understand their soul power, and I want to create a soul powered revolution. This is Coach Mo, mofall.com.